I'm curious as to what was the first exposure you had to Bay Area hip hop specifically.
Like again, at my mom's garage, believe it or not, the very first rapper I produced at my mom's studio came to me wanting studio time. And he showed up. I was introduced to him by this DJ named Renando Harding. And the guy came up, started talking to me. He had a country accent. I was like, what? Okay. I recognized that because I had the same accent when I moved here,
Hmm.
you know, and it was Master P.
That was the first rapper that
That
you.
was the first, and he wasn't even a rapper, man.
Whoa.
He never rapped before at all.
Had you been? Because we had Magic Mike on the show earlier.
Mhm.
I know he was making his rounds early in Richmond.
Right,
Too Short.
right.
Uh, had you been hearing any of that stuff, or that wasn't really your scene?
No, I was in R&B. That wasn't. I wasn't.
Wow.
That was not my scene. I don't know when they started, but this was like '88.
Yeah. So Master P just shows up and knocks on your door.
Shows up on studio time. He got an idea. He want to be a rapper. You know, rap he couldn't hardly. You know, but he wanted to be a rapper. He's always had a s- um, a big idea of just being this big businessman, you know? Not like entertainer, but a big businessman, you know? He used to tell me stories about how he perceived himself, how he wanted to be later in life. I want to be this big guy that just own companies and all. That's what he talked about. And didn't even know how to rap. So, and the first song we did was Mind of a Psychopath. That was the first one we did. And it was on cassette, you know? But But I'm gonna tell you a story how he didn't have any money either. And I told his story before. He come to me and I said, because of the country accent, it made me feel like home, right? And I liked him right away for some reason. Not maybe because of the accent, the country accent, because I got relatives who really got the heavy accent, but he didn't have any money. I said, man, you ain't got no money, man. I was about my money, you know, back then. I don't care if I was charging $8 an hour my studio time. He didn't have the money. I got a record store by the college. You can come pick out some some VCR tapes. You know, you remember the old VCR tapes
Of
we had?
course.
Or records. I said, man, I don't want that. You know? I said, I tell you what, my mama house need painting. You know how to paint? Yeah, I can paint. So he showed up the next day with his painting gear on. I had all the ladder, I had the paint, the brushes. All right, here you go. Knock it out. Just paint the front of the house this color. I'll be out here in a couple hours, see how you doing. Couple hours came by, went outside. I looked at the house, I said, what? He had it all tore up, right? It was, oh my God. It was tore up, man. I said, man, get off that ladder. You know? You know? And but I felt his determination. Master P would do anything possible to make it. And I think that's missing today in a lot of artists, you know. He just would do anything, man. So that really showed me a lot. So I said, man, come on. You know what? I'm gonna give you 3 hours. 3 hours free studio time for you just trying. And the rest is history, man.
That's quite a story. It's
Yeah.
quite a humble beginning.
Very humble. For him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
where he took it from there. And
Mhm.
imagine if he didn't have someone like you to give him a chance at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm responsible for his success, but I was there in the beginning with a lot of artists. You know, he's not the only one.
Of course.
You know, but I'm real humble at what I do, and I'm behind the scenes, like you know. The old saying is, I want to treat people the way I want them to treat me. You
I
know,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's number one. Because the old saying is, who you pass going up is the same people you pass going down.
Yes,
Because
sir.
it can flip. In this business, you know how that flips. You know.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
But that was just one occasion, you know.
So that record store you mentioned was the original No Limit Records.
Right, yes, right across the street from Contra Costa College on San Pablo.
And you did that first track.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first rapper you worked with.
First one in that garage, yes.
What was your impression at the time?
Learning, he wasn't as bad as when they showed Dr. Dre working with Eazy-E. I mean, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't great either. You know what I'm saying? But he got his timing together. I coached him a little bit because I've heard rap, but excuse me. But he wasn't a natural, but he learned how to evolve and find who he wanted to be.
And from there, you started working with other rappers?
Yeah. Well, he had a little camp that he had other rappers at the time. Big Ed, Cali G, Mia X, his brother Silk was a little young guy at the time. And he did even work with Lil Rick at one time, But all this is in the garage. That's the only rapper I remember working with in the garage for a few years until I moved out of that space.
What up, y'all? I'm proud to announce the first official History of the Bay merch drop in collaboration with Mojo Brandon. I got the coldest hat game. You see me rocking Mojo Brandon's gear before. People are always asking me where they can get some of this stuff. Now is your chance. We're dropping these snapbacks in 2 different colorways with the official History of the Bay patch on the side on Friday, May 31st at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on mojo-labs.com. If you go to the site now and sign up for the VIP list, you'll get notified for early access, plus a discount on the hats. We're also going to put the link in the description. Don't sleep on this because once these hats sell out, they will not be available again. And trust me, they will sell out. So make sure you hit mojo-labs.com, sign up for that VIP list, and get ready for the drop on May 31st.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.